Analyzing this document is going to take us time because it is very important, very imperative you know the content, the ideas, wording, why this document were made in the first place, and why it is imperative you support the end to this document. And today, so we are here to do that. And of course, we are also going to respond to side talk today, little. And at the end of this program, there is a very special announcement to be made from the office of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. We're going to make a very important announcement this evening. You must not miss it. Before we start, let us watch this video.
There were only 28 persons involved in the so-called amalgamation of January 1940.
Those of you watching from Twitter, we urge you to switch to Enter Biafra. It's very, very exclusive broadcast today. Switch to Enter Biafra and let us continue. Thank you.
While 6 persons were Nigerians, the rest 22 were British, including Frederick Lugard himself, the architect of the amalgamation, and the first Governor-General Louis Harcourt, the Secretary of State for the British colonies, and other European officers in charge of the 2 protectorates. The following were the only natives officially involved in the amalgamation ceremony: a lawyer, Sir Kitoyi Ajasa, Yoruba; His Highness Sianbola Onikipe Oladigbolu I, Alafin of Oyo, Yoruba; Honorable R. Henshaw, Obong of Calabar, Efik; Honorable Maiturare, Sarkin Musulumi and Sultan of Sokoto, Fulani; Honorable Abubakar Shehu of Borno, Kanuri; Honorable Usuman Emir of Kano, Fulani. No Igbo man who has the highest population is even represented in the fraud arrangement. No person of Yoruba extraction signed it. Only 2 Yoruba sons were present at the obnoxious charade: Oba Sianbola Onikepe Ladigbolu, the Alafin of Oyo, 1911 to 1944, and Sir Kitoyi Ajasa, a Lagos lawyer, representing the African community in Lagos as a legislative council member of the colony since 1902. They were not part of the signatories. The British represented themselves on both sides and signed the documents on their behalves. Therefore, the document does not bind us in any form whatsoever. You should observe that there was more Fulani northern presence than any other Nigerians in the signage. The pact between the British and the northern Fulani oligarchy had been sealed for over a century, and what we complain of today should never be a surprise to anyone who knows history. We are merely slaves living out the dreams and arrangements of unconcerned bourgeoisie, the British and the Fulani imperialists. So Nigeria must be recognized as a business interest which the British imperialists, a foreign people, bequeathed to their partners, the Fulani imperialists, also a foreign people, upon their camouflaged departure from Nigeria in 1960, to safeguard and to use for the mutual interests of both. The indigenous people and the actual owners of the land were never intended to be part of the equation.
All right, you're welcome back. As we start this particular exposition today, I want you all to understand that Biafra is here. Biafra is here. We are going deeper every day to make the hidden things about Nigeria, bring it to you, and you can make your decision by yourself. So today, the hidden treasure of the document called the Amalgamation of Nigeria 1914 is what we are going to see here today. And we will start by reading the document page by page. Maybe we can take about 4 pages today, depending on our time, and then we, at the same time, analyze it. So here we go. Pam, pam, pam. Welcome to the Amalgamation of Nigeria 1914 document. Here is the document that made you a slave in Nigeria today. The document that enslaved you. The document called the Amalgamation of Nigeria 1914. Amalgamation of Northern and Southern Nigeria and Administration 1912 to 1919. Present to Parliament by command of His Majesty December 1919. Nothing is hidden in the surface of the earth. We will dig and dig and we will dig it out. London, printed and published by His Majesty Stationery Office, to be purchased through any bookseller or directly from whatever, and so on. 1920. House of Common Parliamentary Papers Online. Introduction and preliminary to amalgamation. The general character of Nigeria. 1. Geography, area and climate, ethnography, population, religion, etc. The advent of British rule, character of British rule, necessity for amalgamation. A. Finance, railway. I want you people to understand, they said necessity for amalgamation is what? Finance and railway. Necessity for amalgamation, finance, railway. Decision to amalgamate, nature of the task. Now, like I said, we are going to take this teaching one step at a time. So we are going to see necessity, what necessitated the amalgamation, on whose interest was Nigeria amalgamation took place, and who were behind the amalgamation. Part 2, method of amalgamation, general scheme, a division of the country, central department, amalgamation 1st January 1914, the Governor General, duties of the Governor General, Lieutenant Governor and division of the what? Of the country, duties and power of the Lieutenant Governor's Central Department, reason for the division, provisional, administrative and department. We are going to go straight to the business of the day. So we are going to look into necessity for amalgamation, which is in 5. I think the best thing is to take it from the first page of this document, so that we will run this program for like a few days. Amalgamation of Northern and Southern Nigeria. Part 1. Introduction and preliminary to the amalgamation. The general character of Nigeria, geography, area and climate, before dealing with the amalgamation of the 2 separate governments. I want people to understand, before dealing with the 2 separate governments of Northern and Southern Nigeria, it will perhaps serve a usual purpose if I sketch briefly the character of each country. The character of each country. Did you hear that it was called country? 2 different countries according to this particular document. So they know the character of each country and indicate the causes of their divergent form. We have already, before the amalgamation, divergent form of administration and the reason which led to the necessity of amalgamation. In the beginning, Nigeria has divergent form of administration. This is evil, pure evil, that they know very well there is difference in the form of administration, and yet they went ahead to amalgamate, not for the interests of the people in Nigeria, but for their own interests. Today, the divergent form of administration between the South and the North have not changed after over 100 years. That particular divergent form of administration that the British colonies noticed in the beginning have not changed. That's why you have Sharia in the North and you have the secular, whatever the common law in the South. The area of the northern Nigeria was about 255,700 square miles. That of southern, including the colony, being about 76,000 square miles. The former consisted, for the most part, either of open prairie and cultivation, or was covered by square and low forest of the decision dry zone type. The central portion, Zaria and Bauchi, forms a plateau varying from 2,000 to 4,500 feet. In altitude, with a bracing climate, the dry desert wind, the harmattan, which prevails in the winter months, causes the temperature to fall rapidly when the hot sun goes down. So that the night, especially on the plateau, are often very cold. When very cold, the rainfall is small, decreasing toward the confine of the Sahara, which form the northern boundary. Southern Nigeria, on the other hand, is situated in the zone of equatorial rainfall. A great part of the country is or was still recently covered by primeval forest. It is low-lying with the expectation of water pattern which traverses it from the east to west, and divided the watershed of the Niger and Benue to the north, from that toward the sea in the south. The southern portion is intersected by a network of saltwater creek, bordered by mangrove swamp or vegetation so dense that it forms almost a well of giant trees and undergrowth interlaced with creepers. Horses, donkeys, and vast herds aggregating millions of cattle, sheep, and goats flourish in the north. But animals, life is scarce in the south, where the yam field of the dense population cover every acre reclaimed from the grassless forest, which are infected with tsetse and other biting flies. There are, of course, exceptions to these generalities. Districts in the south from which the forest has disappeared tend to resemble the open character of the north. And there are districts in the north on the bank of the Niger, Benue, which approximately the characteristics of the south. These two great rivers are prominent geographically feature of the country. The Niger, flowing north and south, divide the southern protectorate roughly into halves, some 250 miles from its mouth. Its coast lies with a sharp inclination to the west, and Benue, which join it here, form with it a continuous waterway of some 700 miles from the Cameroon frontier in the east to Jeba in the west, where the Niger bending northward again is broken by rapid almost to the point where All these things, I don't think I need to be explaining it to you. But let us go straight to until we find the reason for the amalgamation of two separate countries that have divergent form of administration. Ethnography, population, religious, etc. The population of the North, described 60 years ago by Bat at the descent in all Africa, had by 1900 dwindled to some 9 millions owing to intertribal war. Are you people listening? The North, population of the North, dwindled to some 9 million owing to intertribal war. Intertribal war has been in the North from the beginning. And above all, the slave trade of the Fulani. Are you people hearing it? Fulani is mentioned here. Look at it. Look at the mouse I'm using. The slave trade of the Fulani. Fulanis were the people who were into slave trade. Are you listening? Ndewa Nigeria. The report of the amalgamation of Nigeria in 1914 is telling you that the problem of the North has been the tribal war and the slave trade of the Fulani. They wrote it here. Fulani is well written here. But these dreaded herdsmen or these dreaded horsemen, in those days, they called them horsemen. Horsemen. Today, it is not horsemen, but they are now herdsmen. There is no change. It has been the same thing from the time immemorial. Now, the horsemen, dreaded horsemen, could not penetrate the forest of the south. Are you hearing it? From the time when the British noticed that this Fulani, dreaded Fulani, they call them, could not penetrate the forest of the south. Today, they are penetrating the forest of Yoruba land. But in the days when they were trying to overrun the south, they could not penetrate the forest of the south because of our pattern of security and pattern of administration, which is completely divergent form than the one they have in the north. They have been able to run over north with crisis and tribal war, like they reported here, and then also using their horses and all that. They could not penetrate the forest of the south, where a population estimated at 70 and a half or quarter million, probably an overestimate found refuge. So now, during the war, this tribal war, it suggests that about 7 million people already found refuge, running away from Fulani, and they have run away to the south to take a refugee in the south. Exactly what is happening in Benue today. They have not changed. So if you are waiting for Basanjo or waiting for Peter Obi to come and change this thing that you see here, you are an idiot. Now, 7 million people were in the south taking refuge. They wrote it here. These tribes are of pure Negro stock than the Hausas and the other Negroes of the north. Are you hearing? Negroes of the north were in the south taking refuge because Fulani have killed them with tribal war, trying to conquer probably the one of the Usman Dan Fodio. Though in the more open area, they show themselves to be admirable agriculturists. Many of the Delta tribe live in semi-aquatic life in their canoes. They are still living in canoes today. People from our brothers in the Niger Delta area, like they call them, they live in canoes. They are still living in canoes today. Go there now and see how they live on top of water. And when you talk, they want to be in a Nigeria where they are living on top of canoe. Since 1900, they were living in canoe. They still live in canoe today. They have not changed. Fishing and collecting the abundant salva produce, especially of the oil palm, both the canoes, a boat for their own sustenance and for trade, with the middlemen who carry it to the coast merchant. From a very early date, the influence of Islam had made itself in the north. Are you people listening? I am reading a document of 1914, from 1912 to 1919. Here, they are telling you that the influence of Islam had made itself felt in the north. That is what they are trying to make you feel now in the south. The influence of Islam. And it is being spread every day in Nigeria. Today, you have Muslim president and Muslim vice president-elect. It is now the same thing that repeated almost over 100 years ago, that in that time, the influence of Islam have been felt in the north. Now, you are not only feeling the influence of Islamic State in the north, but you are now feeling it everywhere in Nigeria, because a Muslim ticket has won election for the very first time. And the religious revival of the early years of the 19th century had formed the motive for the Fulani conquest. I want you people to read British document. They are using the word very blunt here. Fulani conquest. It is written here. They say 19th century had formed the motive for the Fulani conquest, which swept the century of Sokoto, which swept the country from Sokoto to the northwest, to Yola, 100 miles to the east, and from the Sahara to the confine of the equatorial belt. Exactly the thing going on today, it have not changed. They are rather intensifying the quest to conquer. The social and the religious organization of the Quran, supplemented and combined with the pre-existing and probably advanced form of tribal administration handed down from the powerful Songhai Empire, which had extended from Chad to Timbuktu. The court were served by judges erudite in Muslim law and fearless in its impartial application. The system of taxation was highly developed and the form of administration highly centralized. Now, let us continue. A rapid deterioration had, however, followed the decay of the religious zeal, which has prompted the Fulani Jihad. Are you people reading with me? Fulani Jihad. Prompted Fulani Jihad. And at the time when the administration was assumed by the imperial government in 1900, the Fulani Emirate formed a series of separate despotisms marked by the worst forms of wholesale slave raiding. Are you people hearing it? The worst form of wholesale slave raiding. So when the Fulani are the people that came to steal, people and sell them as slave. It was what they were doing with their horses. But we sealed the southern Nigeria, they could not penetrate our forest. Now, of course, those who penetrated were able to steal our people and sell them to slave. The worst form of wholesale slave raiding, spoliation of the peasantry, inhuman cruelty. The Fulani, as at 1900, is being described like this: inhuman cruelty and debased justice. The separate dynasty of Boronu and the Chad plain had fallen before the armies of Rabe from Wada, who at this time was looting and ravaging the country. Exactly the same thing they are doing today in Nigeria. The primitive pagans races held their own in the insensible fastness of the mountains, of the mountainous districts of the plateau, or in the forest bordering the Benue River. Others had come under the domination of the ruling race and lived a hard life. I want you to read though, the South was for the most part held in thrall by fetish worship and the hideous ordeal of witchcraft. They said that South was thrilled by fetish worship and hideous ordeal of witchcraft, human sacrifice, and the twin mother. Twin mother. All of you know where they are killing twins, even in Biafra land. The great Igbo race to the east of the Niger. I'm not talking about the great Igbo race to the east of the Niger, numbering some 3 million, and their cognate tribe had not developed beyond the stage of primitive savagery. In the west, the kingdom of Benin, like the counterpart in the Hame, had up to 1897 groaned under a despotism which revealed in Holocaust of human victim for its fetish right. Further west, the Yorubas, Egbas, and the Jebus had evolved a fairly advanced system of government under recognized rulers. And this is going to tell you that even the Yorubas have also different tribes. Like you see, in Yoruba here, do you know, but today, and you say, in only the Yorubas knows who is a Bama, no is a Jebuma. But you, as a Nigerian, you call every one of them Yorubas. But within themselves, they know who is a Bama, they know who is Ijebuman, and they also discriminate among themselves. So when you come to say, oh, Yoruba people are this or that, within themselves, there are differences. And here, it is well stated. Yorubas, Egba, and Ijebu had evolved fairly advanced system of government under recognized rulers. The coast Freng was peopled by Negro traders and the middlemen who had acquired a smattering of education in mission schools and who jealously guarded the approach of the interior from European merchants. In the principal town, Lagos, Calabar, etc., there were some few educated native gentlemen who practiced as doctors, barristers, and so on. The advent of British rule. The British government, which had maintained a consul at Lagos since 1852, obtained the cession of the island in 1861 with the sole objective of putting an end to the overseas slave traffic. In the following year, the abandonment of all West African settlement was contemplated, and any extension of responsibility with the interior was vetoed. It was not, therefore, until the scramble for Africa, which followed the Berlin Act of 1885, that any step were taken to secure the coastline from Lagos to Cameroon and to establish a claim to the hinterland as a British sphere of influence. This area was then placed under the consular jurisdiction of the Foreign Office under the name of the Oyo River Protectorate. Oyo River Protectorate, to whom also the Royal Niger Chartered Company, who were endeavoring to open up the district bordering the Niger, were responsible. Colonial office control remained limited to Lagos colony. It was not until 1893 to 94 that, in consequence of friction with France, the Foreign Office was compelled to champion the cause of the Niger Company and to declare a protectorate over the Niger territory. The Oyo River then became the Niger Coast Protectorate with the advent of the of Mr. Chamberlain to the colonial office in 1895. British West Africa entered on a new era. British influence was extended into the Lagos hinterland. The French crisis was brought to a close by Convention of June 1898, and steps were taken to buy out the charter of the Niger Company. I want all of you to pay attention to step by step how the demography were changing, how things were changing, and we are now up. We have risen up to change it for our own good, and it is going to happen this year. There were no condition is permanent. Even the Nigeria state you see today, you see how things were evolving. There were French, there were this, and there has always been battle, and things have always changed when you work for it. And that's what we're doing today. We're going to change things. And that things we're going to change is that our freedom is coming. So from the way the Nigeria was set up, you see there are changes, step-by-step changes until where we find ourselves where we are today. And we have risen up. People are going to do it, and we are part of them to change things and get our freedom. Now, this was completed in January 1st, 1900. The government of the northern and southern Nigeria were created. The former included all territory north of latitude 7 to 10 approximately, in the latter to the old Niger Coast Protectorate, with the addition of such part of the company territory as lay to the south of that line. Lagos formed a third administration. Now, character of the British administration. The divergent condition which I have described geographically, you see that I have described the divergent condition. The condition is that Fulani came with terror. They have been killing people and, selling them as slaves and all that. Now, that is the divergent of the administration. While the South was more of fetish and they were killing, using people for sacrifice and all that. Now, the divergent condition which I have described, geographical, ethnographical, and the climatic, together with the very different in which two countries had come under the direct control of the crown, had, as was to be expected, profoundly influenced the form which British administration took each. The earlier administration, the South, were confined to coast. One moment.
Are saying we want to be free. It is not only Biafra that is going to be free this year. A lot of nations will break. Nigeria is going to break into pieces, and we, the Biafra people, are going to make it possible. I am telling you now, it is not a hidden thing. It is going to happen this year. Those of you who are planning to have a nation in 2023, which is next month, you are going to fail. We will disappoint you, and you will disappoint yourself.
Assalamu alaikum. What is Nnamdi Kanu still doing in the DSS custody? An order has been given from the court to the government that Nnamdi Kanu should be returned back to Kenya and he should be compensated with a sum of 500 million naira, but he is still in their custody. Why? Why? Has Nigeria...
All right, welcome back. I had a very emergency call, so very important call. So please apologize for this interruption. Now, the divergent condition which I have described above, together with a very different manner in which the two countries has come under the direct control of the crown, had, as was to be expected, profound influence the form which British administration took in each. The early administration in the South were confined to the coast area where a large revenue was at hand from the duties imposed on imported trade spirit. You see, it was about liquor. Small though duties were at that time, access to the interior was the first desideratum. The creation of road through the primeval bush, the clearing of waterway blocked with sod, and later the creation of a port at Lagos and the commencement of railway. Any coherent policy of native administration was high impossible in such circumstances. And the material was very unpromising except among the tribes in the hinterland of Lagos. Gradually, the wall of opposition, which barred access to the interior, was broken down. Systematic penetration of the almost wholly unexplored country east of the Niger began in 1900. Did you see how British break our wall? Did you see it? I want you people to understand that from the previous thing we read before, you see that they said it was impossible for Fulani to penetrate our forest in the south. But immediately the issue of bringing the two countries together, building a way, begin to take place. Did you see now that gradually the wall of opposition, which barred access to the interior, was broken down? So exactly what they are doing today from the Sahel and from other North Africa. Free access to terrorists to come to our land, kill people in Benue, kill people in Biafra land, and they are now dragging Nigeria with you. Now, exactly this thing now is what they're applying today. Did you see it? Because if you want to hide something to Africa, put it in a book. This is exactly what is happening now. So all the leaders in the South, if they have knowledge about what these people have done in the past, today, they will be very, very cautious of what they are doing in Nigeria. This is exactly how they penetrated, from 1900, after many decades of trying to penetrate the South, the border was sealed. The military, Britain, joined all of them together, tried to join all of them together and open the railway and all that. The wall was broken. They are writing it, or I did not write it. Systematic penetration started of the almost wholly, they say almost wholly unexplored country, which is the east of the Niger, began in 1900. So the problem of Biafra, the problem of Yorubas started in 1900 when British, with the system of bringing them together, made this wall, this unpenetratable wall, to fall. And the penetration started in 1900. And in 1902, the arrow fetish, whose ramification extended throughout the eastern portion of the country, a cult of human sacrifice and slavery, was crushed by force of arms. That was how they crushed it, by force of arms. And I want you all to understand one thing. I want everybody to understand one thing. You see, when they say that the penetration was impossible, they did not tell you that the southern Nigeria had a nuclear weapon that they used to prevent the British from coming or prevent Fulani from coming. No. Fetish, the power that the South used to protect their forest against the people coming, fetish, ogu, black magic. Black magic. So what did they do? They say they came with arms, force of arms, to destroy the fetish and the human sacrifice. Nobody supports human sacrifice. I don't support human sacrifice. But I want you to understand that what the South used to seal their borders, even though what they were doing was wrong of human sacrifice, but there was power that was protecting the forest from Fulani breaking into it to conquer it the way they conquered the Sokoto and Kano and all of them. So something was protecting it, and there were power that was bigger than the power of the fetish of Fulanis. They could not break into South. But when Britain came, with the force of arms, they were able to break and break the wall, and the South fall. And the penetration started, and the Fulani was beginning, they begin to come with their cattle and their horses and all that. Every organized government, Fulani has been a threat. They said it. They said the very existence of any organized government was threatened by the haughty insolence of the Fulani armies. The same thing happening today. Yet, somebody want to tell you that he can fix Nigeria. How can you fix people that have character, have ideology, and it is in the blood of them that they have to kill you to take over your property? They have not changed till today. I am reading you a document of the British as far back as 1900. They said every government, Fulani has been the threat. The Fulani armies. Today, the same army is a threat in Biafra land. The same Fulani army is a threat in Benue. The same Fulani army is a threat everywhere in Nigeria. And to crown it all, today, they are the government. They are the police. They are the army. They are the executive. They are the president. And you think that that is what you call a refined Fulani man. And you find themselves in the military. That's why when they tell you that the army is complicit, when you see them killing people, you think it is a joke. That's why I want you to listen to this.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden administration, of Congress.
Ongoing and wide-scale systematic killing of the civilian population, and again, specifically targeting the IPOB.
Of weapons being used against Biafrans, but affirmatively supporting an effort to have an independence referendum organized and conducted by the United Nations, as we've done in South Sudan.
They formally open an investigation and look into what we are identifying as a genocide that's being committed by the Nigerian government and extremist Fulanis against the indigenous people of Biafra.
There's been enough of an experience since 1960 to suggest there simply is not a way, given the history of division between the Fulani and the Biafrans, to think that they can coexist under a single sovereign roof.
Welcome back. Now, do you understand the problem we are facing today? Is existential problem, is existential threat. And you must understand that every single support you give to Nigeria, you are supporting your own, extinction. You are supporting your own annihilation. It is from the time immemorial that this thing started. So let us read again. And I don't want this particular program to last more than 1 hour, 30 minutes. We're going to do this program for days. We need to study this document of amalgamation so that everybody will know what they are supporting. Now, like we have all heard, every existence of any organized government was threatened by the haughty insolence of the Fulani armies. The condition of Borno, where the French had intervened, compelled immediate action. Nothing could be done until a force strong enough to cope with this powerful emirate had been created. You see, even as far back, they are already into terrorism. The West African Frontiers Force was raised in 1888, 98 to 99. And on its return from the successful campaign in Ashanti, the task of dealing with the Muslim emirate was undertaken. As far back as then, they were battling this same Muslim emirate. In 1902 to 1903, Kantagora, who had boasted that like a cat with a mouse, he would die with a slave in his mouth, was the first to be caused. Nupe, who had also threatened the existence of the new administration, followed. Everything is threat, and they destroy every workable government. Borno, overrun by Rabe army from the Egyptian Sudan. Are you people seeing the people that have come to conquer you in Nigeria? Even back then, Egyptian Sudan, which in turn had been defeated in British territory by French force, placed itself under the government, and General Moreland force en route Tata brought Bauchi under control, and its emir was deposed in reprisal for the ruthless massacre of the people of Garam. Zaria offered no opposition to peaceful occupation, but the murder of the Captain Maloney, resident of Kefi, reciprocated hostilities with Kano. You see why the Zaria is at war, because there where you have the Shite and all that. The fall of this great city and that of Sokoto in March 1903 was followed by the submission of the minor emirate and convened this, which had already submitted that their belief that the British would be exterminated by these powerful emirs was vain. When they even tried to exterminate British. You see what we are talking about? They even tried to exterminate the British. When this had been accomplished, the forces of disorder had been broken. So today, is the same British going to tell you that they don't know history about Fulani? That is why some of you, when you are talking, we are laughing. We know what we are doing. And they're going to tell you that they don't know the history of the Fulanis. At least, before you come to Nigeria as a British person to work, you should know the history of Nigeria. The history of Fulani, those people that are ruling now, hijacking and killing everybody. That's why I said we must be very, very serious in what we are doing. We must stand very strong against the government, which is the Fulani-controlled government. We are not against any group. We are not against individual. We are not against any ethnic group. We are against the government that has been hijacked by the terrorists, and they are killing us on a daily basis. And we have decided to self-defense ourselves by making sure we buy arms and ammunition that will stand their own. When they come with machine gun, we have to have machine gun that will stand their own machine gun. When they come with military tanks, we need to have military tanks that will stand with their own. Because if you think that they don't, if you are all fighting Simon Ekpa, thinking that Simon Ekpa is your problem, you are all going to die. I didn't say it. The military have said it. Danjuma have said it. He's a former general in the army. Today, of course, we are going to stop. We'll continue tomorrow, because this is very important paper and document that we are going to make, public, explain it, analyze it for everybody to know. So please, if you are watching this video, you target part 1 of exposing the amalgamation document. I have all the document complete. So I'm not just putting the document out there for you. I am explaining the document, analyzing it for you to know where your problem comes from. And maybe by tomorrow, we are going to reach up to the place where they give us the reason for the amalgamation of Nigeria. But what I'm trying to tell you this evening is that the British know that Fulani is a problem. And this Fulani that is a problem have hijacked the government. They have not changed. Even if P2B become president today, that is not going to affect. This is the in blood. Do you see how they fought the British? Do you see the impunity they did with the British? You think it is now they are going to give up? People that have hijacked the army, they are giving order to kill anybody, and they are releasing their Boko Haram, which is their foot soldiers. They are in your own Korokoro, they rehabilitate them and release them. You know, Okorokoro will say they are going to have Muslim ticket. You say it is not possible in Nigeria. Everything is possible. Now it has happened, and all of you are running mad. So today, some people say they went to our government in exile house that Simon Ekpa have scammed Biafra. So I'm going to use this particular few minutes to address it before we take calls and stuff like that. So let me bring the video. They say they have gone to the house and Simon Ekpa, and that Simon Ekpa have scammed Biafrans. That they went to the house and the house was being renovated. So let us watch it.
Okay, we are here to clear the doubt, to bring the fact. This is today is 14th day of April 2023, April 14th, 2023, and today is a Saturday, and it's about 1610 hours. 1610 hours.
I want every Biafran to understand that at least the house is not Photoshop. You know, when I posted this particular office of Biafra, they say because I put flag of Biafra covering the poster that you see on that in that compound, covering the poster because I don't want them to see the poster. We have already rented and acquired the place. Now, I also designed a coat of arms on the wall of the building. 2 of them. They say, oh, this is a Photoshop. I decided to post the original picture still with the Biafra flag covering the leasing or the renovation company, because it is also it is the government that have already rented the place. And so it doesn't matter whether I cover the leasing company or the construction company. It does not matter. The premises belong to the Biafra government in Eza. So now they went there. So one thing that we have been able to achieve in this whole thing is that they have seen that the building is not a Photoshop. You know, everything is Photoshop. When I go to this place, they say it's Photoshop. When I meet people, they say it's Photoshop. Now they went to the place and on purpose we release the address, because we know anytime we release the address, bah, everybody will go there. So they went there, they saw the building. Now let us watch it.
And good evening. And I'm here on the spot, or at the spot that has been circulated as the headquarters of the Biafra Republic government in exile, as peddled by Simon Ekpa, who has arrogated to himself the position of the Prime Minister of Biafra.
Again, the same thing. Arrogated to himself. Was he there? You know, was he there? He was not there. But he has made up his mind that Simon Ekpa arrogated himself Prime Minister of Biafra government in Eza. The same thing he is doing here, going to show a house, going to show office of the Biafra government in Eza, and at the same time, he is claiming that the place is under renovation. If the place is under renovation, did he know the people that is in charge of the place? If the place is under renovation, Did he know? Did he call the number to know whether the place has been taken? You see, this is the problem. And yet, they claim they are fighting for Biafra. They claim they are fighting for Biafra. Since these 13 years, they have not done what we are doing today. This is the 4th month of the year. Look at what the autopilot IPOB have done. We have overtaken everything they have done because they were not fighting genuinely with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. With Mazi Nnamdi Kanu want to make a very good decision like what we are doing now, they draw him backward. Because they were never real. Is somebody who will tell you, oh, Finland will forfeit all their 60 years of relationship with Nigeria because of me? It's the same thing he was telling to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Will the British government forfeit all their relationship with Nigeria? Like what is happening now? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. The British government is not doing anything. So it is the same thing. So why are they deceiving people? We are not like them. When we say A, our A is A. When we say no, our no is no. When we say it is white, it is white. When we say it is black, it is black. They use criminality and treachery in their own struggle for the past 13 years. And they think that it is business as usual, that when I join them, I will come and do like them. No. The house is real. And the office is real. They have confirmed the place. The next thing is that tell them to come back after 1 month's time or 2 months' time. They should come and video the place again after 1 month or after 2 months. Because some people will say, hey, after 6 months. No. After a month or 2 months' time, come back there and video and make a live video again or video it and show to people. Because by then, shame will not allow you to do it. Shame will not allow you. So let us continue.
And formerly, they had headquarters in Washington, D.C. But now this is Baltimore County. Baltimore County in the state of Maryland. And D.C. is about 65.
By the way, this place you see, this pavement you see here, we are going to have our flag somewhere here. Let me explain it to them now so that when they will come next time, we are going to have either a signboard of Biafra here, Biafra Lazen will be here, or the Biafra flag or something Biafra will be mounted. We are going to renovate this particular pavement here and put Biafra flag there. So you're going to see it later on.
Miles away from here, driving miles away from here. Hey, what's up, man? Good. How's it going? All right. Well, I'm just checking something out here.
And for your information, it is not only in America that we have a Biafra office. We also have Biafra office in Finland. We have Biafra office in Finland. And so let it not be only in America. We have Biafra office in Finland. The Biafra Lazen office is in Finland. We have it in Finland. So, and I want people to understand, because some of the idiots, they say, oh, Prime Minister is in Finland, the head office, the headquarters is in America. It is called Government in Exile. Exile. Exile can be anywhere. It is called Government in Exile. And this idiot, illiterate, ndojo, that doesn't know anything, don't understand what exile government means. Once we get Biafra, the government in exile will be dissolved the same day. The same day we get Biafra, that same day, either by referendum or by declaration, and we know that we have, ready to take over the land and all that. That same day, the exile government will be dissolved, and a transitional government will be fixed in Biafra land. So it is very good that when you are fighting for freedom, get yourself educated. Even if you did not go to school. Some of these people think they live in America for many years, they know nothing. Go and get yourself educated. Read the books, research, and read how things are done. The people that are piloting the affair of the Biafra now are grounded, well-grounded people. I am one of them. Well-grounded. I did not join Biafra struggle as an idiot. No. I did not join Biafra struggle as a miscreant. No. I joined Biafra struggle well-prepared, well-grounded. And it is not by mouth. At least, by now you should have seen some things. I've been able to prove myself. So I came to this struggle prepared. And I am ready to defend whatever I'm doing anywhere in the world. I've said it before. I'm not like some of you. So I want everybody to listen, because most of the things they think it is undoable, we have done it. Most of the places they have tried to enter, it did not work out for them. For the past 13 years, we have entered and it has worked out for them. It will work out for us. Most of the thing that did not work for them is working for us. Just within 2 years, it is happening. But when they hear it, it makes, they don't know what the government in exile represent. They don't know that you cannot get your freedom by using an organization to fight and talk with government. No, we have come to a stage that it has to metamorphose from organization to government in exile. Every country that have gotten their independence, most of the countries have had the government in exile at a time. You just have to make sure you have the right structure, put the right people in the right place, and form a government to show that you are ready to go with the support of the people that you are fighting for. But what they do today is that Nigeria have destroyed their mentality, their brain. Nobody is thinking like a human being. Somebody will say, Biafra government. What are they doing? They were never fighting for Biafra. All they do is to use IPOB to scam people. They use IPOB to scam people. Mazinam Bikano suffer, fight, and shout for 100 men. And pray to God in Israel for God to bring somebody and people who will fight for him, who will follow him and fight. And God brought us. They are not happy. So they want you to come back and continue to do IPOB for another 20 years. That is what they're looking for. We are not here for that. Mazinam Bikano say, we are not here to fight for freedom. We are here to get Biafra. Let them continue with their IPOB shit that they used to scam people for many years. Mazinam Bikano is disappointed. We have gone above that. What we are into now is that Mazinam Bikano led this structure. He's going to come out. He continues to be the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. He's going to come out and take his right position and do whatever he wants to do. When he come back, I will tell him, you see, I told you, I will never disappoint you. They want to help Nigeria government to achieve their aim. I gave my word to Mazinam Bikano. I will be the last person to disappoint you. By the time he come out, he will be shocked of what we have done. And he's going to come out with the Biafra flag. Go and mark my word. Go and mark my word. The kidnapping of Mazinam Bikano is bringing Biafra. I'm telling you people, I said this thing from the beginning. You people did not hear me. Now you are seeing it. I said we are going to bring Biafra from diaspora. You did not know what I was talking about. You are going to see it. So what is the problem? That, you said you are IPOB. Do your IPOB now, right? We are also IPOB by bet, by right, and by everything. And you are not the one who will decide who will get Biafra. Okay? Simon Ekpa is not the only one who is fighting for Biafra. But because you know that we know what we are doing and we know how to get Biafra, and you are not just happy. You are not happy. The house here belong, at least for now, is in position of the government of Biafra, Republic of Biafra in exile. The government rented it, and it does not matter whether it is rent, whether it is owned by the government or whatever. It is in the hand of the government, and it remains our headquarters in the United States. So while they are making the video telling you that Simon Ekpa has been busted, please tell them to come back to this place 2 months from now and make the video again, because they will not do it. Everything they have done have always favored. When they try to say they want to expose us, they end us they end up advertising what we're doing. So let us play the video.
Yeah. So you can see this is Bel Road. We are on a one-way street here. This is M West Avenue. This is Bel Road. Y'all see? This is a two-way road. Say it again. Huh? Show you what? I can hear you. Say it again. Okay. Hey, crazy. Yeah. No, I think I actually you are close to see. So, because you're talking about investigative proof, you know, talking about the Secret Service and all that,
Secret Service.
M branch and all that.
M branch.
You go up there, we verify.
M branch and Secret Service that cannot take a call and call to know. You don't need to even call. You know, you see the place. Is anybody occupying it? Is there anybody occupying the place that is not a Biafra person? Did he see anybody occupying the place? And he even said that camera is there, security camera. He even said that the place is being renovated. He even said that with the original things and very expensive things. Listen to him.
Before we bring it out to the public, we make sure we know what we're talking about. Now, this is the street. This is the ELM street. It's a one-way street joining up with Bel Road. That is the T junction here, and this is the road sign. And up this way is Bel Road, and this is the compound on the 7200 Bel Road in Baltimore County of Maryland. There's Baltimore City, there's Baltimore County. Now look here. This house is still under construction. This place is still under construction. So there are no functioning offices here, per se. You understand? So the seat of power or government in the
idiot is in America. He don't know the difference between construction and the renovation. He don't know. He said the building is still under construction. My people, is this building still under construction? No. And he see in the poster there, in the banner there, he said major renovation. He cannot even read ordinary English. And it's in America. These are the people that when they go to America, they commit all this wire fraud and all that and put our names, blackmailing us, as Igbo, because most of them are Igbo people, as you can see. If he's not an Igbo, he will not be interested. So these are the criminals you have in America, doing nothing only to scam people. He cannot even read what he is showing you, that this is renovation, not construction. You know what is construction? Construction is building, constructing new house. This is not a construction. This is renovation. And they wrote it very boldly. He cannot read it. He don't know what it's called. He doesn't know the difference. These are the people the idiots that are, that have been running IPOB for over 30 years and have nothing to show for it.
The United States in Washington, D.C., not here. This is a little bit far from Buffalo. Now, this is a commercial real estate services. These are the contractors. Major renovations underway. Retail.
He finally read the renovation. He was saying construction, but he was saying the thing there. But now he has read the renovation.
This is your phone number. You can call them.
Oh, you can call them. He cannot call them. He is asking you to call them. And he could claim to be investigative journalist or whatever. He claimed to be M branch. He could not call the people to tell you that I have done the investigation. Because they are prognosing into what Samanepa is doing.
It's 410-472-3510. Ask them if they have any office or the building assigned or
prepared. You can imagine. He drove all the way from only God know where he come from and came to the office of Biafra government in exile. And he could not call the people. He is now telling you, calling the number to call. He can drive, waste his fuel if he's using a fuel or using an electronic car. Of course, he cannot drive an electronic car because the car I saw there is an old model of a car, the car and $500. He drive his car there and burn his fuel. He could not pick a phone and say, I've just called the people, if they will answer him. And he's telling you to call. Only envy and jealousy. What he could not do, we have done it. What their criminal gangs could not do, we have done it. And this is just what they are seeing. There are things they have not seen. And our goal and our target is to get Biafra this year. So when the Biafra will come, they will still be arguing with you. Don't mind them. We will tell them that government house is being built. We'll tell them that we have taken over Biafra land. They will still be making call and telling you that they are in Nigeria. That's exactly what is going to happen.
By any other person, any entity, any government, whether a de facto government or a government, exiled government, see, the steps here is brand new.
You see, he said that the step is brand new. We have a brand new step. Please, so they are the one marketing also. We have high test. Somebody like me, I have high test. I don't know about you. But he said that the step is brand new. Of course, they can never dream big to have such thing. The step is brand new. Government of Republic of Biafra in exile, their office step is brand new. They're advertising it. Let us listen.
It's still under construction. See, the handrail.
It's still saying under construction. Oh my God. I don't know what kind of itiboribos are in this. He's still saying under construction. But when he looked at this, he can, pronounce it right.
This is the very, this place is highly wired with security cameras.
Are you hearing it? He said it's highly wired with security cameras. He's advertising our test. It's highly camera. That is the point. So he said that he confirmed it now that the place is highly wired with security cameras. So if you do anyhow, we capture even the face now. If I want his face tomorrow, I am going to demand for it because he have trespassed into. That even remind me. In fact, I'm going to show the person that made this video. Let me, I'm going to show the person. Since I'm going to show the person that made this video because it's a trespass into our property, and we are going to. I'm demanding right away for the video of the person. Yes, the secretary, the head of the finance, the head of the government of the head of finance, the government finance, please. I'm demanding right away the video of the person that trespassed into this property immediately. Yes, I am demanding the video, the recorded CCTV of the person that trespassed into our property, the government of Biafra Republic government in exile. And I'm going to make the video public. I will publish the video. Let us see the person going there to trespass into our property uninvited. Let us continue.
See, look, the deck here, see, the steps here is brand new. It's still under construction. See, the handrails. This is the very, this place is highly wired with security cameras, as you can see. Look, the flooring deck here is still brand new. So it's still under construction. The painting and the windows, everything. Now this is here is the permit you get from the city of Baltimore, Baltimore County. That is government. unlike the zoo, here, every government is on its own. You know, it's not where it has to be overshadowed by go to Abuja. No, it doesn't happen here. See, you gotta get a permit. Because this is like a local government. So this is permit the builders, the ones renovating here is still under renovation.
All right. I have made officially a request to have the CCTV footage of the person that trespassed into the property of the Biafra Republic government in exile. And that's that. I'm going to post it online and everybody will see it. Now, having done this and having shown you all this, leave them. In the next 2 months, they can come back there to video it. And then Biafra will know that, all those their lies and propaganda does not work where we are. It doesn't work. Every step they make, they will fall down. Every step they do to bring Biafra, to bring shame to Biafra, will be sinking them. They will be sinking. Every step they take will sink them. And that's how they are going to be sinking until you will hear of them no more. So we have a very special announcement this evening from the office of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, in quest to exit Nigeria this year, as we have intensified our diplomatic war in international level, and then also as we have intensified our quest for Biafra exit with a very strong reasons and genuinely fighting for a genuine cause. I want everybody to listen to the following. And put this date and save it in your calendar. In order to continue to speak in a very strong language to the Nigeria state, this evening we are informing Biafra people that the swearing in of the new elected Muslim president, Islamic State president, will not be allowed in Biafra land. There is not going to be any activity of any government, both the state, the local government, or whatever you call it. So long as you find yourself in Biafra land, there will be no activity of any government, any governor in any state within the Biafra territory. So for that reason, on the 29th of May 2023, there will be lockdown, total lockdown in Biafra territory. Before then, from the 28th, which is on Sunday, there is going to be curfew. Curfew will be from the 6 p.m. to 30th of May, 12 a.m. So we are going to start the lockdown of Biafra land from 6 p.m. on Sunday, the 28th. There will be no movement of anything anywhere within the Biafra territory. It is a way to register our rejection and make sure that whoever that is being sworn in Abuja on the 29th May have no jurisdiction, have no right, will not be validated, will not be accepted in Biafra territory. So from the 28th of May, from 6 p.m. in the evening on Sunday, the curfew will start. The curfew will start for that one night. The curfew will start from 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. And then the sit at home start from the morning till the 30th day of May, the 30th day of May 2023. So we are going to have sit at home on the 29th to reject the Nigeria and the swearing in, whatever ceremony they are doing. We are going to sit at home on the 29th and on the 30th of May to also remember the fallen heroes of Biafra. On the 30th of May, sit at home for 2 days, 29th and 30th of May 2023. I want this particular information to go around the Biafra land that the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile is informing the Biafra people that we have taken the fight for the liberation of Biafra to the highest level. We are now in diplomatic tussle in international community to make sure that we call the attention of those who have something to do with making sure that either a referendum is conducted for the Biafra people or we go out try for declaration of Biafra. And every decision we make today and every step we take today will be recorded and attention will be paid to it. So I want to inform the Biafra people today that on the 29th, the 30th of May, these 2 days will be a complete lockdown. Starting from the 28th, from 6 p.m., there will be a curfew in all major roads, in all federal roads leading to Imo State, Anambra, Enugu, Ebonyi, Delta, Bayelsa, Akwa Ibom, and Cross River State. All these places and all the major roads will be locked down. And this is the information coming from the desk of the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile. I thank you very much for being part of this program. I make the flyer and jingles for this particular sit at home so that our people will be well informed ahead of time. Thank you very much. And remember that tomorrow remain our sit at home. Every Monday sit at home, it continues. This sit at home continues until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out. From here, from me, is good evening. May God bless you. God bless Biafra. May God bless Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. May God bless Sunday Boho. May God bless Professor Banji. May God bless our Eastern Security Network, Biafra Liberation Army, Umuada, the cabinet of the government in exile, all the advisory committee members, and those supporting us, the Igwes, the traditional council, the traditional rulers, the council, the elders. May God bless all the Nationality Council of Biafra, the Aqua Cross, the Igbo Nationality Council, the Niger Delta Nationality Council, and all of you. May God bless all of you.